You are now listening to Out of the Blank.
Another episode of Out of the Blank podcast with Kirk Rothgeb.
What's happening?
That's how you say your name,
Yeah,
right?
actually, most people don't get it right.
I just call you Uncle Kirk at this point. I've known you for so freaking long, man. Now, you literally, before I even get into this whole thing, because we got so many different things to even talk about. I mean, you've known me for so long.
Oh, my God, yeah.
I mean, since what? I was like 7 years old, right?
Yeah, you were camping in my yard for years.
Exactly. That's where camping was. We were Fort Whaley, and then when we found out we can camp out to you.
Oh, my God, yeah.
We would drive that 45 minutes just to go to your house and camp out on the yard.
There was times I'd come home on a Thursday, and the camper was already in my yard. I'm like, oh, we're camping this weekend.
Yeah, my dad's probably like, yeah.
He left it there, which
you didn't
was
get my
fine.
text? He never sent you no text.
That didn't matter. I told him anytime, because we had the room.
So you can't offer that to me or my dad. Anytime you want to swing on by, we're going to take that offer up.
We had 25 acres. We're still have, and there's like 100 and some acres behind us. There's plenty of rooms. Like, come on, why are you paying to go down there? You stay here. We had horses and room and four-wheelers and play and do,
Yeah, so even just saying that, everyone can already get the vibe of the farmer type from you.
Well,
what do you mean?
I'm not the farmer type. I just happen to live on a farm.
You just happen to live on a farm.
Yeah.
Dude, I've seen the breakfast you cook. I've seen all that stuff. Don't even get me. You literally... For some guy that's a fitness guy like me and eats super, super clean, you are literally like not the complete opposite of me. Basically, when it comes to food, like I'm eating like strict fish. You might eat fish too, but it's like you're eating like cheesy omelets in the morning, breakfast sausage.
Yeah.
Everything you eat, so much barbecue. I'm like, oh my God, I look at you and I'm like, this man is a god in my eyes, because like you literally have all the food that I want to be devouring.
Well, we'll go down and remind me, but write this down. We'll go down this road in a minute. Complete 180.
Explain to me what the diet water thing.
No, that was a joke. Water.
Okay, well, what's the water thing?
All right, so I've lost 70 pounds in probably 3 months.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Sick?
No, doing crack. No, I'm kidding.
Rick James?
Yes. Now, all right, here's how it starts. You try to lose weight. You go to, there's no diet that works. Now, this is where I'm going to sound like I'm preaching or selling something, but I'm not, No diet works. You can't stay on a diet.
You have to consume less calories than you burn.
Well, I got one better than that.
What's
So
that?
I had a wax, yes.
Are you serious?
No.
People do that. You don't understand.
Before we get too far into this, you got to remember, you know me. You cannot believe the first thing I say. Because
I'm letting you know.
I'm too quick.
When it comes to this diet thing, you're saying you lost 70 pounds, you had to either cut out some type of meat or some type of bread.
No.
Are you just consuming less?
No.
What are you doing? Drinking more water?
Well, here's let me tell you the story. I go to the doctor. I had a wax buildup in my ear. I couldn't get it out. I guess I was trying to clean it. I must have pushed it in or something. It wasn't bad. They rinse it right out for you. It's not a big deal. I just didn't have the tools, and I don't mess with my ears too much. I don't like sticking anything in my ear.
I literally bought Q-tips this morning.
Well, I mean, you can clean them, but there's certain. I don't know. I'm not a doctor.
Dude, I had a bad experience. I had a Q-tip and I was standing by the door and someone opened it up.
Oh, it shoved it in. Yes,
Oh,
it
yeah.
scares me to death. If I lost my hearing, I don't know what I would do.
I stand away from the door now.
Well, it was literally like sticking your finger in your ear, and it was that way for a week. I just couldn't hear. I tried everything. Hot water, oil. I bought all these different things to flush it. I couldn't flush it out. Finally, I get mad. I go to the doctor. I'd argued with my wife. Is it working?
Yeah.
I'd argued with my wife a little bit because we had to go. We were going to a crab feast, and she's like, "We got to be there," and I'm like, "I don't care. I ain't going. I can't hear out of my ear. It's driving me nuts. I gotta go." And then I was trying to get Cody to cut the grass. He didn't want to cut the grass. He was busy on some Xbox huge game thing that he does, and
Gotta love it, right?
Yeah. Already my blood pressure was up. Ugh. Get in the truck and I take off. I go to the doctor. So I get the doctor, and the nurse comes in. Hey, how are you? Blah, 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 blah. Step on the scale, do this, blah, 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 blah. Do you smoke? Do you drink drugs? This and that. Let me take your blood pressure. She goes, oh. I'm like, what's oh? Oh, what? She goes, I'll be right back. I'm like, Jesus Christ, now my blood pressure's going up more because you're worrying me. What's going on? She comes back in a couple minutes later. I'm like, is everything okay? She, doctor wants me to take your blood pressure again. She gets a different sleeve, bigger one, puts it on my arm. She goes, And he walks out. I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to have a heart attack not knowing what's going on. So, doctor comes in, and he's looking at me. He goes, so what's wrong? And I'm like, well, I can't hear out of this ear. He goes, well, what are we going to do about this blood pressure? Are you here for that? I said, no, I'm here about my ear. He leans over to the other ear. He goes, well, we're going to take care of blood pressure. I'm like, what the hell is my blood pressure? And I don't know, it was like really high or something. I don't remember the exact number. But it had come down after I was sitting there and I was relaxed and they cleaned my ear out. But he was like, we can treat this natural. We can give you like blood pressure medicine, bring it down. He said, or, there's other ways. I'm thinking, what do you mean other ways,
Crack.
Yeah, something. So, and shit, I'm going to try it. Why not?
Yeah,
no.
right.
So, he says, you can lose weight and, your body will, and he's blah, 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 and he's doing all. I'm like, look, I've been trying to lose weight. I joined gym. I've done all this. It ain't working. He goes, I lost 100 pounds in 3 months. I'm like, I will, yeah. I said, I will write you a check right now. You name your price. You take 100 pounds off me in 3 months, I will write you $1,000 check right now.
Did you write a $1,000 check?
No, because I only lost 70 pounds.
Oh, but cut it. You cut it under.
Well, now he explained why. So what he did, he goes, look, I want you to go home. He goes, I want you to get up tomorrow morning. I want you to drink water. Drink a 32-ounce glass of water. And he goes, and just carry a water bottle with you at all times. Have a water bottle with you. Anytime you think you're hungry, just take a drink. And he goes, lunch, drink water, nothing. Dinner. And he goes, I want you to eat 1,800 calories about 7, 8 o'clock at night of scrambled eggs, bacon. You can have some cheddar cheese there,
So wait, you're not eating breakfast or anything like that?
Nothing.
Okay, so you're fasting. That understands a lot.
I cut out all my sugar.
Yeah.
No sugar. Just eggs and bacon first 2 weeks. You would get this insulin spike because you ate, whatever, and then you sleep through it. And the first 2 weeks was really rough.
Yeah.
But the first week I lost 12 pounds. The next week I lost 8 more pounds. I was starting to feel better. I was like cleaning my body out of sugar and weird stuff. After 2 weeks I was like, man, I feel pretty good. So I kept doing it. Then I started eating like scrambled eggs for breakfast. And water, and I was just sugar-free. Like, I found sugar-free Jell-O. I found these Atkins
gelatin
bars.
at Food Line.
Yes, that's the ones I buy.
That's the one I want. But the Food Line brand gelatin, the one that's 45 calories a bag, it's called Jell-O Bites.
Oh, yeah, I've seen them.
Dude, get those.
Yes.
I live religiously by them. I'll do a nice fasting session when I go to work out, even though a lot of people say I don't need to fast.
Right.
But I'll go in, eat nothing, and I'll burn 1,200 calories on the treadmill, and then I'll go and eat only a 45-calorie bag of Jell-O. That's how you get down to 2% body fat. That's how you get down into bodybuilding competitions.
I've not done any exercises, no workouts, nothing. I sit at a computer all day. I don't move. It really sucks.
Well, so that's your professional job.
Right.
Let's knock that out first, because usually that's what I do in the first minute of the podcast.
Oh,
but you got me inspired on the whole how you lost 70 pounds.
Let me finish, because it gets so much better.
All right, go.
So because I'm excited about it, and because it's really working for once. So I'm losing all this weight, and I've had to get new clothes, pants, things. Nothing fits anymore. So I've lost. I get down to like 70 pounds, I wish I was down to 70 pounds. I've lost 70 pounds, and it's kind of tapered off where I'm not losing anymore. So I go back to the doctor and say, well, what's going on? He goes, your body has gone into hibernation mode. He goes, it's just like a bear in the woods.
Trying to store everything.
The food source, you've cut off the food source.
So it's trying to store it.
So now the body has said, wait a minute, we need the rest of this fat to make it through the winter. So he said, now I need to work out. It's kind of like a car. You can only burn so much gas with a 4-cylinder.
You're talking to a man that went to school to study nutrition and then ended up switching it over to psychology.
Am I making sense?
You're making 100% of sense.
Okay, so he said you need a bigger motor now to burn more fuel. And you got to let the body know, hey, we still got fuel. So now he's put me on protein diet. So now I'm fish, chicken breast, things like that.
Things I eat.
Right. So now I'm doing a high protein, low fat now.
How bad are your farts and shits?
Oh, Jesus.
Dude, when you switch over to high protein,
yes,
that's all it is.
I've never had the dog get up and leave the room before.
Yeah, exactly.
And just a little bubble will like, oh my god, I need to go outside before I do that. It's
like I have to like I always admit to when I do it, but like it's there are times I'm like I wake myself up. I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah, I've done that.
Yeah.
Actually, I've literally just farted once, and my wife said, "You got to get up. I think the dog is shit on the floor." She could smell it in the middle of the night. No, that was me.
Well, you start consuming high protein. Like I eat raw egg whites.
Yeah.
So when I eat those, like that, first of all, is bad in itself. I mean, it's healthy. It's like clean, but it's like when you start consuming more protein. I consume my weight in protein, and sometimes I can overconsume in protein.
Oh yeah.
What happens is, your body's like trying to digest it all, and it creates gas and all that stuff. And then especially when you're adding salads on top of the mix, it's just like throwing more fire into a volcano.
Oh, I know. But it's been weird because I've not drank any alcohol. I've not, well, I shouldn't say. I do have
the occasional
once a month
at night.
margarita or something. But I've really tried to, because you can't just 100%.
Dude, I did that for 4 years. I was living off like a can of tuna and a stick of celery. You get your moments where you're like, where they talk about binging. You get moments where you just like all your progress, everything gets torn up when you just see like something that you haven't had in forever. When I see Royal Farms chicken, I cannot go into Royal Farms. When I see all your, like when I talk about how you're envisioning all the pictures you put up, your sausage biscuits and all those types of stuff, that shit makes my eyes water because I used to have.
Well, I don't know if people got mad, but I mean, everybody, if you follow my Facebook, and if anybody's listening don't know me, look me up on Facebook. My Facebook's a trip. I never post anything. I'm not one of them people that put drama on Facebook or...
You just post food.
Yeah, food, drinks, where I'm at, where I'm having fun, I don't do the drama.
Good times with family.
I don't put political crap on there. I'm not, it's... Facebook should be fun. It shouldn't be drama and,
I try and stay off social media. The only time I ever really use it now is just to put out the podcast or something. But
yeah, well,
you get wrapped up in too much shit. Next thing you know, it's 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm sitting on the crapper. I was only supposed to be there for 10 minutes. I'm on there for 45 minutes, and next thing you know, you're looking at like cat videos or people failing and missing.
Now, what about red meat? Do you,
see, the problem is, I like my car. The best example, the best example I can give is my body is like a Ferrari kind of, or like a Corvette.
Mm-hmm.
I've been feeding it fish and chicken for so long. Now,
if
I
put
go
that
and
in
put
there,
red meat in there, it's like putting diesel in there.
Yeah, it wouldn't.
I start like I won't be able to go to the bathroom for a couple days.
Right.
I start feeling really bloated. My stomach just doesn't digest it.
So you couldn't eat that much.
Don't get me wrong. Like I'll cut off a little sliver and then like have that every now and again. Like I had some this morning. I had like a little bit of sliver, but it's like, when it comes to all that, I gotta be very careful with how I do it, because like even a smallest little bit, like that little sliver, haven't gone to the bathroom yet. It's like it's gonna take a while. Yeah, it's pain.
Well, they sell this stuff down at Food Line. It's called citrus nitrate.
Yeah, I've taken that before.
And it's flavored now.
Lemon, and then they have banana ones
I got
too.
Grape and cherry.
That's
the grape is amazing. Well, yeah, but it's a little more pushy. If you really want something, help Miralax.
Yeah,
I call it Ridex.
I know exactly all these tricks, dude. You understand when you dive into the bodybuilding world and you hear all these people, like all these bodybuilding competition people that are like they're at 2% body fat and all this stuff like that. They're still taking laxatives to lose even more weight before a competition. You don't need to go that far. That stuff's crazy, but it links into the thing of body dysmorphia, which is something like I do have a little bit of a problem with when it comes to looks and stuff, just because I was bullied through high school. But it's
I remember.
Yeah, it's like I was overweight, you know what I mean? And like people look at me now, they're like, "There's no way you were overweight." I'm like,
Look how we ate at the cookouts, campouts, and all.
Oh, dude, shrimp, crabs.
Your father used to make this stuff. Oh my god, and his chicken, the backyard bird, or whatever.
Oh my god,
the chicken was amazing.
The one aspect I really
I know the recipe, but I won't give it out.
The one aspect I really enjoyed about camping was the fact of when you cook the food. If my dad had the little tip to wrap it in tin foil and let it sit on top of the campfire. There's a difference between cooking on a stove and then cooking on a campfire.
Oh yeah. Oh,
first of all, the smell. I'll be driving through Ocean Pines and I know immediately when someone's having a fire in their backyard.
Oh yeah.
I can smell the logs. I'm like, oh yeah. It's like my mom's like, I think there's a fire. Someone's house is on fire. I'm like, no, someone's having a good time right now.
Yeah, but you could probably tell what kind of log they're using too, because you can smell the difference between a good oak or a
spruce,
a
willow.
But yeah, I mean, your father had it to an art. like his food was so like it wasn't dry, or some people cook and it just dries it out. He'd wrap it into foil, and the chicken was I'm hungry.
It's the same factor.
It is.
Have you ever seen him cook a marshmallow?
Yes.
That pisses me off.
Oh, I know. It's amazing.
I can't do it. He does it for like 30 minutes, slowly roasting it, and I just wait for him to pull it off. And it's like he always gives it to me, but I just want to like if he was gonna bite out of it, I'd slap it out of his.
Right, I know. Mine are always like burnt and black. And,
I used to eat them like raw, and then I used to just stick them right in the fire and
burn
them all the way, and then just start eating it. Yeah. Statue of Liberty, you know what I mean?
He's got the patience, man. He can sit there. He works enough.
But see, you don't understand. Those are formative moments in a kid like mine's childhood. Like, even though I don't do it anymore, and I don't go out camping anymore, just because it's just something. It's not that I lost the interest to. It's just something.
It's time. You don't have.
Yeah.
It's
I got other things, school and like other stuff like that. But it's like, if you literally like take the time to just take a deep breath and just walk outside and just sit and enjoy the view and nature. First of all, you get encapsulated by the beauty of nature in general, and especially you living on a farm. You have 22 acres. I understand where Cody doesn't want to mow the grass. I would hate to do that too. Shit, man.
But the good thing is
I get pissed off when I have to take the trash out.
Yeah, well, you experience it, so that's a good thing. So the older you get, and you get a job and work, make money, and settle down a little bit. You're going to want to go back to that, and then you'll be the same thing. You'll be like, we should get a camper.
The complete complete turnaround of my dad from when I was a kid to how he is now with, my little sister and everything like that.
Oh, yeah.
It's crazy to see because I know him as the DJ guy, Kiss, all that type of stuff. And now I look at him, he's baking cookies, he's doing all this stuff. I'm like...
But that's great, though. I mean, he never had time for it before.
It was funny, before the baby arrived, I told him, I was like, hey man, like, you're old. Like, no offense, but you're older. Starting over with a new kid. Like, I just hit the age of like 19, 20. So it's like, this was a couple of years ago. It's like, it's gonna be rough on you. You're not gonna be able to play football like you used to. Hell, when I was a kid, he could barely play football. I remember I hit him one time. We were playing catch, and I broke one of his ribs. Like, it's crazy. I was like, your body can't handle it. And then, like, he's like, I'll be fine. I'm in pretty good health. I'm pretty good. Next thing I know, he's getting back, like, his back checked out. He can't move his back. And it's like, it's only a year later. I was like, dude, I told you, man, once you hit 50, shit starts going.
But, there's two ways to look at it. I looked at it, like, when my wife and I got married, I said, we should have kids while we're young. And, we can still, like, run around and carry on with them. And it was great. But, like, we also had to work, and we were busy, and now, I see what your father said. I'm thinking, man, I kind of wish I might have waited, and maybe I could have slowed down and spent a lot more time with, kids. Like, how many times we went camping, and we'd take your father's camper, get it all set up, and we wouldn't see him till 2 o'clock in the morning on Saturday, because he did the thing during the day. He'd come home, do some stuff, and then he'd run out, he'd DJ all night, he was working. Had to get up Sunday morning, be back to work.
And even when we were camping, like, it's not that he was disconnected or, like, disconnected.
Oh, he enjoyed it.
Yeah, he loved camping. It was just the fact that he also had his phone on him. You could hear his phone going off and stuff like that, and he's trying to ignore it and trying to do, like, he's still got people calling him, hey, this is going wrong, he's still got to check it, give it to emails and stuff. And then, to see someone that has, like, it's his passion, radio and all that, but to see him, like, when you're trying to relax, the last thing you want is work calling you or doing something like that. But, I mean, he spent, like, that's where I learned to fish. I always remember every time me and him would go fishing, we'd bring the fishing rods out of the camper, go fishing, and then these are like formative, like these are stuff I remember, like just randomly in the day that just bring the smile on my face. Mm-hmm. And it's crazy to think about because a lot of kids that grow up in like cities don't even understand this thing, but they have a whole nother aspect of life and that I might not even know about.
Yeah, I mean, you make the best of where you're at, I guess.
I just find, like, where I connect to is nature. When it comes to, like, looking at the trees, the leaves, that type of feeling, that's my home, that's my meditation. A lot of people are like, I find my meditation in my house, That's good for you, Some people find it in music, like, my mom and my brother do. They were never big campers or anything like that. It was always me and my dad. Yeah. But, like, I was also, too, I was kind of lazy in the fact that I would go camping if everything was set up and ready for me to go. And my dad was like, I will put in all the effort just to do it. And it's like, there's no better feeling than sitting at a campfire like at 1 o'clock in the morning and just listening to the crackling of the logs. And then you guys that's where the best conversation happens.
Oh my God. There was too many times where I think it was 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. We were still sitting there, and I'm like, hey man, the sun's coming up. I think we should go to bed.
Yeah.
It was. We would literally.
I can't move my legs. It's probably time to call it a night.
We had this great big pot. We would do corn on the cob, 10 dozen ears of corn.
Yeah.
And I can remember.
Don't forget crabs, dude.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God, we get a bushel. Yeah, we already got a bushel. Yeah, are we getting another bushel? Oh my goodness, we're eating
just
more
remember
crabs?
watching your father. It was dark and we couldn't find the tongs to get the corn, and we were going in and shoving our hands down into boiling water, pulling corn out, and trying because we were hungry. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. And we would sometimes set the pot right in the coals just to keep it warm.
You should have saw the one time he was trying to cook up crabs. Remember when I texted you and I asked where your pliers were? We didn't have anything.
The crabs were all over the backyard. That was
yes,
awesome.
My dad's
I remember
picking
that.
them up with freaking needle nose pliers and stuff,
We
trying to throw them in
found
there. He's
one.
like, get up on the table. I'm like, what the hell is going on?
We found one the next day. It was under the shed. It was still alive.
Good God,
it was
man.
still running around the backyard. It was amazing. The dog had found it, was barking.
I remember that too. He was in such a rush, and he was like, "Where are the tongs? Where are the tongs?" Like, oh, he forgot to let the tongs out. And then my dad immediately went into your shed, grabbed pliers. Like, I don't got time for this. I need to cook crabs. I'm ready to sit down and eat. I'm like, holy shit,
that's amazing. Good God, yeah, I could tell you stories and stories.
How did you meet my dad? That's the story I want to hear the most.
Oh, let's see. I kind of remember.
You said you lost your job or something like that. That happened. You were feeding him some type of
No.
We don't have to talk about it.
Yeah, we can. I don't care. He was working at the radio station, and I remember listening, and he would do these themes for lunch, and anything with the word red in it, or we're doing something Friday, or and people would call in for a song. And he might not have it, and I'm like, well, shit, I got it. So I emailed it to him.
Oh, shit.
I would just email him the MP3 of the song.
Where were you working at?
Newspaper.
Oh, so that's where you're getting your information or stuff.
Well, I did graphics for the newspaper, so I just sat there and, doing my thing. I got the radio on. I'm jamming out all day, the radio, and I'd listen.
You're a long-time listener.
Oh, you have no idea. Well, you remember I won the boat?
Do you have a... Yeah, I know
I won the pontoon boat. Yeah.
That was ridiculous.
That was a whole lot of trivia. I still have a book. I mean, I would listen from morning to night and write down just useless stuff. Anything I thought that they might ask a question about later, so I could win a chance to get a key to, oh my God. Some of the things I wrote down, and the first year I lost. Somebody else won the boat. And then they did it again. I was like, oh my God. It was too much fun.
Do you have a gambling problem?
No, not at all. I wasn't gambling. There was no money involved.
My buddy lost $4,000 the other night. I can't believe it. And then he went gambling last night. And I was like, dude, what is going on? He's like, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. I'm like, you're freaking nuts, man.
I like to go to the casino. I'll take $20 and go.
Dude, I bought one lottery ticket when the lottery was that huge number. I bought one, and it was so weird because the woman behind me was like, had all these birth dates written down, all these numbers and stuff. I was like, are you done? Are you done? I'm like, I just got here. I was like, she's like, it was looming over me. Hurry up, hurry up. And I'm like, oh my goodness. Like, people get addicted to this.
I think I might have bought $20 worth of tickets.
I mean, if it's reasonable, if you got a good outcome winning. I just see it as like, I'm one and done. I mean, I don't need to go and.
Oh my God! Could you see me if I won? What was it? $1.5 billion or something crap.
Better buy some more property and let me live on it.
Oh, dude, we'd have an island somewhere,
right?
I would go.
Would you want to own your? Where would you want to live out of all places if you could move right now? If you're not, you're content?
Mexico.
Why Mexico?
Warm. Cabo, San Lucas. I would go down the tip of the Baja Peninsula.
But you say you don't drink that much anymore. What's the point of going to Mexico?
That don't mean I got to drink.
There's
warm
nothing else
water,
to do down
good
there.
Fish. Oh my God, you've never been.
Maybe buy like a bunch of donkeys and stuff.
Oh no, dude. We went on a 4-wheeler tour down there. Oh my God, it was like an hour and a half just to get to where we were. It was 700 and some foot sand dunes right on the ocean. It was amazing. I got pictures I have to show you. It was some of the best. Oh, I can't. You'd have to go. I can't explain it. Some of the best fishing. The food was amazing.
This leads to a good question I usually ask. Do you have a transcendental moment, one of those moments where you're like, this is what life's about? Like, a lot of people like, some people like, it's my kid being born or something
every
like
weekend.
That, like, every weekend?
Every
What's that?
weekend.
Like seeing the sunrise or something?
No, I go down here. We got a boat down here in Ocean Pines.
Just sitting on the water?
And we go down to the boat and just sit there, and about 5 o'clock in the morning you get up and you go sit on the back of the boat and watch the sun come up. Well, 4 o'clock I should say. And just sitting there relaxing, nobody around, no electronics, no internet, and just kick back. And it's like, man, this is nice. I could just
Sometimes
stay here.
You gotta disconnect and unplug.
I could live on the boat. Well, I don't mind the phone because I'm not that. I shouldn't say I'm not that rapid. I do get on Facebook, but I don't buy into the drama. I don't care about the drama. Nothing directly affects me but me.
The problem is we use too much social media, and not just social media, but technology in our everyday lives. No one ever really takes the minute to disconnect. I'm failure of doing it too. Especially like, I went to the other night. I went to bingo night, and like that's where I was talking about. Like if I had a podcast that was just recording conversations that happened at a campfire at 1 o'clock in the morning,
oh yeah,
they would be crazy. The one I put up on about bingo night, and it was on Valentine's Day, was about like I didn't label it as an episode. I just called it what it was. It was a special because it was an hour conversation at sitting there eating burgers and doing stuff like that, and it was just like the random talkings of just people just shooting the shit, because you miss so much stuff when you're having like conversations. Like hell, we had a 30-minute basically phone conversation before you rolled up, and then
I know.
We're like, we need to save this for the podcast. I was like, yeah, I don't even remember what the hell we were talking about, to be honest with you. It's like when you start recording and you're having conversation, especially if you have interesting people, whether you think you're interesting or not, everyone's got a story, everyone's got an interesting thing. It's the one response I always get about when I ask someone to do the podcast. I don't think I'm very interesting. Sir, you're very interesting. It doesn't matter if you think you are or not. There's someone out there that's going to get a piece of life advice from you, obviously a childhood influence. You obviously were influenced as a child by fishing. You're doing something with your family. You're probably raised in that manner, like going, were you raised in the farm life, I would say?
Actually, no. I was born and raised right up near BWI Airport. I went to the same high school as your mom. Went to Meade High School. Same thing.
Were you...
different years.
Different years?
Yeah, I was a couple grades behind her. But, I grew up right there next to BWI Airport, right off Dorsey Road. We had like a little quarter acre, in a little community. Didn't mind it, but, I grew up in a different time. We didn't have cell phones and computers, and you had the phone with the cord on the wall. You didn't know where everybody was. I'd get on my bike and ride down the street and find some kids, and
you'd have to go to somebody's house, knock on their door, see if they were home, and when they weren't, you'd have to feel bad because you had to ride all the way back home.
Well, even like after high school, and you got in your car and you just went out and started driving. We get out in Glen Burnie, Ritchie Highway, you just ride up and down until you found a group of people with their cars. Some of you hung out, or you'd try to find something, go to the mall, find some, hey, what are you getting into? There was no, getting on and texting everybody and, hey, let's all meet up. Or,
where are you at?
Yeah, you didn't, it was a different world.
Where the drugs at?
But, I push on my son, he's always home and just in the room, but he's got so many friends because he talks to them. I'm like, Cody, you're missing so much stuff. Get out of the house.
It's funny though. In the way you're talking about, I agree with you 100%. But there's actually some good outlets to it. I have a buddy that listens to my podcast, shares it. I've never met this kid in my entire life. I'm friends with him on Facebook. I'm friends with his family on Facebook. But I've known him for going on 10 years now. And I know him from Xbox. It has connected us. I told him when he comes down, we're going to film a podcast together. And we're going to take pictures because it's going to be the very first time us actually meeting face to face. But I've seen him. I have his Snapchat, so he sends me selfies. I send him selfies back. We know what we look like. And, we have, we still talk and everything. He's very supportive on my podcast, and he shares all my stuff, and it's like, holy crap, I've never met you in person. He goes, yeah, man, when I come down, we're gonna hang out. I'm like, dude, it's amazing because I've talked to him on the phone. I got his phone number. It's been like that for 10 years, and it's like, dude, there was an article I read recently. Two dads that were friends over Xbox Lives for 8 years finally met, and now they're best friends. Like they've never met before. He's from Wisconsin. I've never been over there. It's ridiculous. And it's like, in that way, that's awesome that we can connect in that way. And I told him, I was like, I will drain my bank account to fly your ass out here. The plane ticket to fly down here is like $400. I'm like, you can stay at my house, sleep in my room, stay down here for a week and stuff. He invited me to his wedding. And he's like, we're engaged for a year, so, you know, you got time. I'm like, dude, we're seeing each other before that. I do not want to see you at your wedding for the first time. Shit, man.
Well, you know, Cody was at Pittsville, I guess it's middle school. They do a, what do you call, field trip to New York. You know, and they take the bus, and parents can chaperone.
They're still doing field trips?
Oh, yeah.
Did you see at the middle school they used the VR goggles to visit Anne Frank's house?
Oh, get out, really?
That's good only in two ways. First of all, you're not losing all the little kids.
Right.
Like me, I either had a leash on me or something like that, or because, you know, hyperactive. And then,
well, yeah, I mean, you know.
Also, like, you know, you don't have to travel very far. It's not gas or any expenses like that. Nothing bad's going to happen. You have all your ducks in a row. But then you're missing the physical aspect of getting up at like 7 in the morning, getting to school and having that field trip day where, you know, there's the kids like me that sometimes didn't pay for the field trip, so we're sitting in class like, damn it. And then like, it's just one of us in a class of that used to be 30. Everybody else is on the field trip having fun. We got a substitute teacher that's like, couldn't afford that trip ticket, could you?
Right.
Yeah, fuck you too.
Yeah, well, see, I've been in New York, so, and I'm like, okay, so what are we going to do in New York? And I'm like, listening, there's no agenda, there was no, you know, and I'm looking, there's a lot of the kids with their moms, you know, and as soon as the bus got off, man, they all went Fifth Avenue, wanted to go shop, and I'm like, what, you know, okay, we're not learning anything here. And Cody, like you said, he's got friends on Xbox and all, friend lives in New York, so I was Cody, look, we can hit the Q train, you know, it's an express, we can take it to Coney Island, it's an hour away, you know, forget this whole Times Square, ooh, let's walk around. So we went to Coney Island, you know, got hot dogs and rode rides, and his friend that he, you know, he met him first time, and they all hung out, rode roller coasters. We had a freaking ball. Went back, and the whole class was like, you went where? And they're all just lip out like, man, we should have went, you know. But,
yeah, you're missing you don't understand, like, they think of, like, everything, like, I'm at fault for this, too. On days off, I go, like, what do? You go shop. That's basically what you can do. Mm-hmm. You know, there's nothing else to really do. You just keep spending money, burning a hole eventually in your pocket. Especially during wintertime around here where there's like nothing open. But if you actually go out, even though it's sometimes a pain in the ass when you're comfortable in your house to go out and actually experience something, I want to go back to an amusement park. I also want to take times to go see stuff like orchestras and operas and all this stuff that I used to think was just like dumb as hell, but then like I've started realizing, like, you know, just like with podcasting where everybody's got an interesting story, I've been starting to like enjoy things more. Like when it comes to music, I don't see it as that music shit. I see it as that's a creative aspect of it. It's an art, someone's passion. I want to experience everything. I want to experience everyone's stories. I want to hear all of it. I want to get as much as I possibly can and keep hearing about it, because I mean, you're constantly living a life, you're constantly telling a story. From when you've met my dad, I've never even known that story. I never knew about the band Flytrap. I never knew about any of this stuff, and everyone knew about this stuff but me. It was like everyone grew up around that time or was around my dad when that was happening. Like I only know my experiences from my grandparents that end up telling me the same freaking story over and over and over again. But I mean,
see, you should interview them.
That's where the true information is. But it's hard. Like it's not that I don't like interviewing family. It's just like it's really hard to interview family.
Yeah,
like
but
you're family in a way. But it's like if I interview, like I tried to interview my brother. Now my brother's a great guy, but it's like he wasn't taking it serious. He's sitting there like we're sitting on his floor, and it's like, yeah, well, don't you know me? I'm like, I do fucking know you. And then, like, after I started getting episodes out, he's like, dude, I want to do your podcast again. I'll promise to take it more serious. I'm like, it's just really hard. I don't want to podcast with my mom. I want to podcast with my dad just because I can ask him so many things on radio. But I know how difficult it's going to be knowing that I know all these things about you. Yes, it gives me a little bit of insight on you, but the whole reason is, do you see in front of me lined up questions? No. I'm asking, everything I'm pulling out is everything I want to ask you, everything I want to know out of my head. If someone finds that interesting, then it's there.
I keep laughing because I do have a funny story about the Xbox. So evidently there's a different thing. Like Cody has so many friends on Xbox, and he knows them, and like
Mr. Popularity?
Oh, yeah. Well,
are they friends from school, or are they just friends from Xbox?
Be
careful with that.
Well, he's got some friend that does something on Twitch or something in YouTube and
live stream.
And they're famous to get money, and he's actually made some of their, or not made, but been in some of their videos because he's really good at these shooting games and stuff. And he's joined a clan, and they all fight different things or whatever that means.
Gaming clan, everybody that's listening, not a real clan.
Okay, well, let's go back to that.
Giant
That's where I'm
that
going.
One.
That's where I'm going with that.
Good God.
Because that is a huge difference.
That's their symbol, though, but it's why is it more passive on electronics than if I was going to rock that same clan out in public?
Okay, so, go back a couple of years, and we just bought our big boat. 40-foot boat, 2 bedrooms, it's really nice. You've never come down, you should come down. Actually, your father's never been to it either. It's right down the street. I keep it at Pines Point Marina. But, so we're buying it. It's in Annapolis. Mm-hmm. And we were getting ready to we had to bring it up and around the C&D Canal because you can't trailer it. It's too big. So we take the kids to see it the first time, and Cody's kind of going through that withdrawal of, when are we going home? When are we going home?
Well, he's still a kid.
I want to play Xbox. There's no Xbox, My Cody, look, it's Saturday, or no, it's Friday. It's Friday night. We're going to stay the night on it Friday night here. And then Saturday, we're going to bring it around,
Bring it around town.
So, we get there, and of course, we're checking it out. We went to, was it Kmart up there, or one of the Walmart, whatever it was. Kmart, I think it was. And we're in there, and we're buying snacks and some food and pillows, pillowcases, and sheets. And we're picking out stuff, and Cody is standing there, and I can't find my wife. So I hand him the sheets and stuff. He's standing there with sheets in his hand. And as loud as a little kid can say, "Dad, when are we going home? I've got a clan meeting tomorrow."
Holy shit!
Yeah.
Oh
talk
my
about
God.
wanting to crawl under something. And this lady turns around, older than me lady now, and kind of gives me a dirty look. Like, what are you teaching your kid? And I'm like, I just don't even want to try and explain. I set the stuff down, grabbed Goose, let's go. And we went out to the car and waited for my wife. So this is just too much. I can't
That's
believe this
crazy.
just happened.
That's ridiculous.
Just as innocent as can be.
He didn't know, though.
He doesn't know.
Understand that realm.
I got a clan meeting at 3 o'clock tomorrow, and I'm going to be late.
Did you get scissors to cut holes in the sheet?
Absolutely. Oh, I might as
It's
well.
like the riding scene off Django, where they're all like, we gotta wear them while we're riding.
I've learned to take pictures because I've done so much stuff, stupid stuff. I've met so many people,
and you can't really remember it all.
Well, it's not that you can't. Some people look at you like, you can't write this stuff, or you can't make this up.
Yeah,
and it's like I gotta have pictures because I don't think people believe half the stuff.
Why don't you start a podcast?
I don't know.
You should do it. Call it Kirk's Corner. Kirk's Corner. Dude, I'm serious. Like doing it at a certain time in the morning.
I don't know.
You can do it by yourself. Hell, I'll be on it too. I have a bunch of friends that are like, wow, man, you inspired me to get on a podcast and get that going. Like, mine was just an idea because I was watching Joe Rogan's one of my giant influences, but a bunch of these comedians on there doing this thing that I was like, damn, like it's I want to eventually get video and stuff, but it was like I was listening. Joe Rogan's been having podcasts for like 8 years now.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like I've been going to the gym every day for going on 6.
Have you had your father on here yet?
No.
You need to get him on here.
He lives out in Virginia. I keep telling him to
I don't know if he would want to tell you everything and let everybody know.
He said he doesn't care. So.
Back in, I've heard some of his stories. Like when he was with the radio station and he would go backstage and meet and some of the events. He
ran into Ziggy Marley and he didn't know it was Ziggy.
Right, some of the things that he can tell you are going to be so funny.
He said Ziggy offered me a cigarette and I didn't know who it was. I just thought it was some guy with dreads. And the next thing I know, I'm like, wait a minute, that's the band that just played. Like he was so out of tune. He was focused on the music and getting the DJ equipment set up and everything.
You have to ask him about the time. I think it was something like he knocked over a bowl of shrimp or something. I can't remember. Oh my God, he was bad, and I think they ended up throwing him out or something. You have to, I can relate because I've done the same kind of stupid stuff, and it's funny at the time, and just I'm laughing now just thinking about it. I've been in some weird situations, I've been to Sammy Hagar's birthday party in Mexico. I've hung out with
Sammy Hagar.
Yeah, I've played guitar with Eddie Van Halen backstage at Merriweather.
Go to that real quick.
I got pictures right here.
No, tell me the story. I want the story.
Nothing really. It was simple. I've always liked radio. I've always liked radio. And just had friends that worked at 98 Rock, and I tried to get in there with them. And actually, it was Russ Mottler, if anybody remembers him. I just called him up out of the blue and said, "Hey, man, how do I get backstage to meet Van Halen?" He put me on the list. I got meet and greet passes.
Damn.
And I was like, no shit. And then another friend of mine owned Maryland Waterbeds in Glen Burnie, and they sold the tickets for the shows. So we actually camped out and got front row tickets. They did 2 nights. It was in '93 at Merriweather. And just went backstage, and I took a guitar and went back there and just sitting on a picnic table waiting, and all of a sudden...
Was he as cool as...
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Way, well,
sometimes you meet famous people that are a bit of assholes.
Vince Neil was an asshole.
Like, I want all green.
I met Vince Neil. He was an asshole. But,
damn you, Vince.
Well, he was just a little shitty, and we tried to walk up and talk to him. He turned his back on us. And
a lot of people think Mike
away.
Tyson's an asshole. He's actually very, very religious and very spiritual. And he just started his own weed farm.
That's cool.
That's what he gets into. But he's like, he understands where he messed up. And, you got to understand the way he was raised, too. Like, growing up around fighting, like, that's not going to create somebody that's going to be nice 24/7. But the fact that he can... turn that around and come back, and it's like, you don't understand, like, all that type of stuff. And you deal with, like, when you meet someone famous, it's really hard. Like, what I talk about with society, like, people walk around with a mask. They're walking around with their second personality. Sometimes you'll be in a relationship with somebody, or you'll be friends with somebody, and then they'll come out and experience the true self. Like, whether it's because they're taking medication to mask whatever, like, disorder they kind of have, or dysmorphia that they have, but... when it comes to, like, rock stars, sometimes they're just playing an act. It seems like they're acting on stage. We look at actors, like, people that are into the, like, comedic arts or something like that, and they're like, why is he being so flamboyant or doing something completely on stage, and you meet him in person, he's nothing like that. It's like, that's his talent, but it's at the same time, you don't want to display that in public 24/7. Kirk!
Right.
Phones.
I'll give her show you a picture.
I know, but turn sound on.
Oh, did it make it?
I have my phone on silent. I have not looked at it.
I was getting ready to show you a picture.
All right, well, show me a picture.
But, like, I've never been starstruck. It don't bother me. I can talk to anybody. And
we're all
But
humans.
Eddie Van Halen was the first one that I walked up to, and I went to shake his hand, and I think I almost passed out. Like, I almost fainted. Like, oh, my God. It had built up so much that, wow, I'm really going to meet him,
Mm-hmm.
And the second I touched his hand, and I think I started to go, and he grabbed my hand with his other hand. He goes, "Don't do it." And I'm here. I said something, like, totally stupid to this day that I just, oh my God, I wish I could redo that.
A lot of people are like how you kind of felt in that situation, where you're talking about how, like, you feel like you could redo that just so you don't seem like too much of, like, a nerd or something.
Exactly.
Or it's like so much of a super fan. It's like, you gotta understand that he's so famous, he probably realizes that.
Yeah,
he's like, but at the same time, it's cool that he was like, look, treat me as an equal, man. Like, I'm you. I'm on the same level as you.
Well, I had people tell me before, if you go up to him and you start, oh my God, you're God, or, he's gonna thank you and just walk away.
Yeah.
But if you start talking to him about something off the wall, it's a normal conversation, and he's going to just talk to you.
Hey, you play a good concert, but you also look like shit on stage. I would have wore something else.
Yeah,
like a backhanded compliment that gets those women and gets a lot of women and wanting to talk to you.
Right, just something like that.
That's a backhanded compliment.
Can't find my pictures. It's going to kill me now. I'll see all photos. I have. This is the one photo I carry around all the time.
It's famous. I'm not famous. It's funny to hear, like, when you hear famous people, like comedians, talk about meeting their heroes. Like, when Joe Rogan, like, met George Carlin or something like that, or, like, he talks about these types of people that influenced him. It's crazy to hear that, because it's like, yeah, you look like a little child.
Well, that was 93. I mean, that was a long time ago.
You look like the kid that got his pants pulled up above his head when he was in school.
No, actually, I was a big kid in school.
I believe it.
Not fat, but, like, I was just tall.
I know.
And,
you probably played football or something.
No, actually, I wrestled.
Really?
Until they wanted me to cut my hair.
Yeah, you kept the rat tail for the longest time.
Yes, I did.
And you had your son growing it.
Yes.
When did you finally decide to cut off the rat tail?
I don't remember. I know my daughter cut my son's off in the middle of the night, so...
Oh, my God.
Yeah. Yeah, this doesn't make for a good interview showing you pictures that people can't see on it.
Like I said, it's interesting for me and you, but I mean, I'm hearing stuff like, this is crazy, because, like, you know, I know you as the white tank top, freaking barbecue pit guy, and then, like, to see the complete, holy crap, who is that? That's Sammy Hagar.
Pouring me a shot of tequila.
Oh, my God.
At his birthday party. Look right there, front row, hanging out.
And you got pictures to prove it.
Oh, you have to. There's Cabo, there's riding four-wheelers in Mexico. The sand dunes just endless.
That's beautiful sights, too.
Absolutely. There's the
Why
bar.
would you want to live somewhere where there's a bunch of sand and not where there's a bunch of, like, farmland or something? It's like a complete turnaround.
No
like,
grass
you feel like
to
you've
cut.
had too much. Oh, that's why. Now you understand Cody, where he's coming from.
Until you start cutting 25 acres of grass. Whew. Man, I got pictures. Just we'll have to do another one day. It's called Weekend Parties on my Facebook. If you ever want to go through that, I even think you're in there somewhere.
I'll have to deepen
Yes.
down into the rabbit. See, a lot of people look at my Facebook. They're like, "Why are there only a couple recent photos and the rest of them are all super super old?" It's like, those are photos that people tag me in, and I've tried to have them removed off Facebook. Yes, they're good times, but I'm like, I don't like how I look.
Didn't
back
like
then.
that picture. Yeah, you know, I got some too where I was like, but you know what? I use them now as inspiration. I got to enunciate that. I look at them, God damn, I was big. I need to lose some more weight, you know. And
Yeah.
So I look at it and go, yeah, I don't ever want to look like that again.
Well, through my grandparents' house, walking through, there's nothing but old pictures of me, and I'm like, God damn, like.
Take that, but you know what? Though they don't look at it as like, you know.
They look at it as memories, and I see that whole aspect of it too. I mean, you got to think they when you look at a photo, you're capturing a moment in time, much like when you know, anything we're saying right now, it's being recorded, so it's like it's in stone, it's in history, it's happened now. So it's like, you know, don't incriminate yourself too much, but I mean, you know, display how you want to be seen. I want people to see me who I am. I want to see as the random conversation type guy that, like, you know, can always bring a smile onto your face. And it's not whether the podcast is good talk or not. It's whether if you had fun and you had an enjoyment out of it. That's the whole point of it.
Right.
I want you, because I'll end up having you back on later down the road when I have more episodes on, because you got, obviously, a lifeline of stories.
Millions of stories to tell. And
I mean, I could do millions of podcasts just with the same person over and over again because they have so many stories. Nobody understands that.
I'd love to come in and sit here with your father and tell stories.
I want to do a double podcast like that. That'd be great. Have my dad in here.
I don't know if we would incriminate anything.
You guys would banter back and forth. I'd just be sitting here watching like if it was a movie. I might as well cook up some popcorn.
One of my favorite stories. Oh my God. It's the hardest your father ever hit me. Oh my God, he hit me in the chest so hard. We were sitting... We had a fire. The fire was so big. You ought to remember, you were on the golf cart. Mm-hmm. He was backing the golf cart up and dumping wood on the fires. I mean, he would back up as hard as he could and just hit the brakes and slam the wood. The fire was so big, we had to put the hose on the side of the house. And we were 50, 60 feet away from the house.
Yeah.
But because the siding was starting to melt on the side of the house. It was so hot. 3 o'clock in the morning, everything has died down. We're sitting there in a couple lawn chairs. Everybody's gone to bed or passed out or whatever they've done, you know. It's quiet and it's finally like, you know, okay, it's nice. And we've got this one guy that just wanted to pull up with his car and turn the radio up. And he goes, Skip, can you play this on the radio? I wrote this song. It's about my dead ex-girlfriend, you know. And, oh, my God.
Oh, my God, I actually remember this.
So, yeah, I was going to say, and we're sitting there, and oh, my God, and he finally said, please turn it off, you know. It was so loud. So the dude takes the car or whatever. He goes and gets a goddamn guitar, and he comes over and sits next to us.
I remember that dude.
And he's sitting there playing, and I'm in the chair, and I can't take the word. I'm just sitting there, and my eyes are closed. And your father comes in, he hits me, bam, right in the chest. He goes, God damn it, if I got to listen to this, so do you. Wake up. And I just laughed. I was pissed myself. So this guy's not going to shut up.
He had a ponytail too, right?
Yes.
And he wore a flaming button-up shirt.
Yes, I can't remember.
I remember that guy.
Oh, holy hell.
Oh my God, there's always that dude that brings a guitar and doesn't know how to play it all the way. He just sits there and play it.
To this day, I still laugh at that story because, God damn it, if I got to listen to this, so do you. Wake up. That was so funny.
See, those are those moments you think about in life, and it's like they bring joy to you, especially when you're having like a rough week or something. But that's funny. I remember that story too, man.
God.
I remember exactly. He was wearing blue
yes,
jeans.
Yes.
Ponytail.
I haven't
Ford
seen
cap.
him in years. I don't know whatever happened to him.
God, he was like a wet blanket.
Oh, he was, dude.
He brought everything down. The only I think fun time we had is when we were playing football. We were tossing it back and forth, and I was throwing it the length of your yard.
Yes,
basically.
you were all the way. Yeah, I was like, holy shit, you should be playing football, man.
Yeah, and I was like, I remember that's when it started. I was like, I can throw 50 yards. I was always walking around in school saying that, and my dad's like, oh, that's like 60 yards. I don't know how much it actually was. It definitely wasn't that much. Probably like 25 or something, but.
Don't matter.
I had a freaking cannon of an arm. Like
I know, because I remember like, shit, I'll make sure I can throw it back that far.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want to make this kid make me look bad, you know. Yeah, I think I hurt my arm trying to throw it back. I say, yeah, all right, that's enough. I got to go.
Yeah. Same thing with my dad. He's like, I got other things to do. But me and him would launch that sucker, man.
Oh, I know. I remember watching you guys throw football out in the front yard, and I'm like, man, the game's going to break out in a minute. Cause
I bet the one thing you were really impressed about was how much me and my dad could eat crabs.
Oh, my God, yes. Oh.
Me and him were always sitting there last ones. You'd leave and then come back like an hour later. Like, I'm ready to have more crabs. We're like, well, sit down, pull up a chair. We're still eating.
Yeah.
It's like, holy crap.
Yeah, like it better be 2 bushel on the table because
there needs to be more than that.
Yeah, I was like, because you guys were good for a bushel easy.
One time, me and him went out to the bonfire with my mom and my brother, and this was like, I was 13 years old or something. And they left. My brother and mom left for 2 hours and came back.
Oh, yeah.
Because we were still eating the Alaskan king crab legs.
Oh, hell yeah.
And we take my dad's parents out to eat. Mm-hmm. And we went to the bonfire one time. Me, my grandfather, my dad, all sitting there eating crabs. Everyone else sitting there waiting for us to be done. And then we're like, all right, we might as well wrap it up. And I'm like, I'm not
We're
done.
We're not done yet. It's all you can eat.
Oh, we pissed off the buffet table. The guys were always looking at us like, come on, really? Like, how many plates am I have to put out? That and then California rolls for me. I would take all of them, like 40 of them, and put them on my plate and just eat them all at the Panda Buffet. Mm-hmm. My dad's like, you don't want to go get like real sushi? I'm like, let's go to somewhere I can eat a lot of and actually fill myself up for a cheap amount of money without spending $1,000 on 2 sushi rolls.
I just think if you tried to do that now, how sick you would get.
Oh, dude, I don't even know where there's a Panda Buffet besides Salisbury. It's a good 30 minutes away. They closed all the ones down here.
Yeah. And we still go to that one once in a while. Of course, what I eat now is totally different. You know, I go to the grill side, and actually I've been getting chicken and getting pineapple. They'll grill the pineapple for me.
I'll grill up pineapple. What I like to do is when I freeze all my fruit. Mm-hmm. If you go to Harris Teeter up in Selbyville right now, it's $1.39 per pineapple, the extra large ones.
Wow, really?
And also, 99-cent grapes was last weekend, but they're doing 99-cent blackberries right now. I bought like 10 packages of those blackberries. You got to see my freezers just stocked up with gallon bags.
The doctor told me to stay away from fruit too for a little bit because that's still got natural sugar. Yeah.
Well, if you ever want to like kill your craving of a sweet, I always tell people eat frozen grapes. Mm-hmm. If you are craving like a Reese's cup, just pop a frozen grape in your mouth. It makes you eat it slow.
Oh yeah.
But at the same time, it's like a sweet thing that hits you and kills your craving for bad sweets.
I'm so into the water now. I drink water and don't forget.
I like water, but it has to be like have Mio or something, and I can't handle regular taste.
You know the stuff like that. It seems like if I drink it at night, it leaves a weird taste in my mouth in the next
Depends
morning.
on how much you put in your water.
Oh yeah, you got a little tiny,
You got to dilute it a little bit.
Yeah, oh yeah, you can't, put the whole thing in there.
That's what I do though.
Oh yeah, but yeah,
anything to make it taste like something and not freaking water.
Oh my god. Oh, I'm trying to think of some other stories real quick. Oh, camping stories, man.
There's no way we're going to be able to talk about every single one in the.
I know.
There's so many memories in this whole thing. I mean, just the aspect of camping. This should just be called the camping podcast because, really, that's where all our connections even started from. That created a giant bond between us. I mean, you owned horses, you owned all these multiple types of animals.
And I don't think your father ever got on a horse either. I don't think I ever got.
No, I rode it once, and I will never do it again.
Yeah, you did, but I don't think
because you put no saddle on it.
Yeah.
And I rode it, and I swear to God, I thought my nuts went in my throat.
Yeah, well,
I never rode a horse before, and you're like, oh, it would be good for your first time. We're going nice and slow across the yard. This horse's bones are clanking into my legs and stuff. I'm like, I'm going to die. Remember, I was so small that you just threw me up on the horse. You were like, because that horse was huge, first of all, to me.
It was a Clydesdale.
It's like I couldn't even get up there. You just picked me up and put me up there, and I'm sitting up there like, oh my God, I'm afraid of heights, too.
Yeah, well,
that stems from my father.
What's that, Fred Heights?
Whenever we go up somewhere high, and I look over the railing,
he does
come up behind me.
Yes.
Ah! Oh my God! Whenever I go up there, we went to south of the border when we went to South Carolina.
You went up in
the drive was the worst trip of my life. I'm pretty sure my dad can agree with that too. But we went to south of the border up there, and we went all the way up the giant long tower to look off the overview, the skylook thing. I go up to the railing. I'm looking off over the railing. Comes up behind me and does that. I swear to God, it's probably the one time I almost pissed myself.
I can't do it.
I can't do amusement park rides. He would always go on the rides with my brother, the Superman and all that stuff. I could never do it. I'm more of a ground person. If it's on the ground, it's fast, it's quick, it does anything like that, I'll do it. I've never been on a corkscrew roller coaster. Never been on anything that goes upside down. Never done any of that. Any roller coaster that goes super high up, just can't do it.
See, that's weird. Like I'm like I don't clean the gutters at the house. I don't like high places.
But I can do a water slide.
Yeah, I can do. But see, I can ride roller coasters. Like I've flown in the airplanes down here. You know, that doesn't bother me. But I can't get up on the roof of the house because it's like, holy shit. You know, I don't do high places. I'm the one that, you know, like if we went up on that tower, I wouldn't even get to the railing. Like I'm standing back here against the wall, like,
yeah.
All right, I'm going back down. You know, I'm done.
It's not that you're worried about falling. It's more like you're just like, there's no point.
Yeah, like the water slide, like what's the Jolly Roger here? That one, the big yellow tube.
That's the loop-de-loop. Have you been on that one?
No.
That one's nuts, man.
Yeah.
Your throat drops into your your heart drops into your throat.
Even climbing up that, you know, about halfway up, I start looking through the steps, thinking,
is that the pilot or whatever they call the one that does like it looks like a triangle or like a top of a tent?
Oh, I know that orange and white one or something.
Yeah, because they have it's a white one. It's all white one.
Oh, okay.
Where it drops you down in the side and you go up like that.
Yeah, back and forth. Yeah, I don't know what
they have that one in Six Flags. It's a giant funnel though.
Yeah.
I remember me and my dad went on that, and he'd probably tell you a story about that. He laughed so hard because my eyes when we went down it, I was so little, my eyes looked like they popped out of my head because it was me and my brother's friend, and then my brother, and then my dad, and we were all on there.
Oh,
and
my God.
That stuff's ridiculous. I've seen videos on Facebook, people get knocked out on water slides.
Oh, yeah.
Like they're going down, the thing turns a certain way, and they slam their head up against the thing. And thank God, I worked at a water park for a whole summer.
Oh, I remember over
a couple
in Delaware,
summers, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And,
I know, and the one time we came there, you weren't working.
Yeah.
Yeah, like,
figures the one day I had off, you guys show up.
Yeah, we show up. Right. Oh, man.
But it was crazy because I worked at it for so much. It's also when I did jet skis during, like, down here. I've been in the bay so much. I've been in the ocean so much. It's I used to love the water so much. Now I don't want to get anywhere near it. I spent 4 years as a jet ski guide. Yeah. Constantly being freezing cold in the water. I'm talking about, like, when we had the when we had the whatever, all those tropical storms and all that stuff down here. I was out in the water in the hard rain on a jet ski. Mm-hmm. I was jumping in the water, out of the water every couple of minutes. So I'd go from super dry to super cold, super dry to super cold, like super wet, all that stuff. Stepping on multiple things out in the water, being on hell out, like going 12 hours without eating because you're sitting on a jet. You understand that.
Oh, yeah.
But like, wearing a wetsuit, I started doing.
Yeah.
You know how hard it was to get in your car soaking wet with a wetsuit,
yes.
And then trying to take it off when you get home just to take a shower after a long ass day in the sun or something,
you
or
in the shower with
weather
wetsuit on.
You were just and like, I can't even. Once it got to your ankles, you're like, fuck it, it's staying on. I'm not taking it off.
Yeah, they're tight.
It's a pain in the ass, but it's like, I remember all that stuff, and it's like, yeah, I remember going 90 miles an hour on the jet ski, the Ultra 300 I had.
Oh, yeah.
My boss was like, it was early in the morning, the water was flat, sun was coming up. He's like, you just want to take it out for a spin, test it out. I was like, it runs fine. He goes, no, go take it for a test run. Go take it for a ride. Either he knew we had some shit planned that day. I'm trying to get him on the podcast, but we did the Jetivator and the hoverboard and stuff like that. Yeah. So we had to use the giant. I was the Jetivator guy. That's who I was known as.
Okay.
And we had to use this jet ski that was this powerful, supercharged, to power up to basically pull someone out of the water on a thing, have water shoot out of it and everything. Right. And oh my God, I remember the one time I was going like 45, 50 miles an hour back into the dock. Like, you know, it's the no wake zone.
Yeah.
So I had to slow down from going from 90. I literally went all the way from one side, from Ocean City, all the way to Ocean Pines, that whole length, in a matter of 20 minutes and then back.
Oh, yeah.
On that thing. And
we bought one.
I'm surprised I didn't hit a sandbar and flip over the handlebars. But no, like, I was going back into the dock, no wake zone. I killed a freaking seagull. It was sitting in the water. I'm like, it's going to get up. It's going to get up. I'm going 40. It's dropping down real slow. Freaking thing gets up at last minute in front of the jet ski, flies up head first right into my life vest.
Oh, wow.
Like shoulder, arm. My whole arm felt like it got shot.
Yeah.
And I was flipped off the jet ski. But oh my God, it was the craziest pain. And I turned around. I was upset because I killed the thing. I look around. Its head's all twisted and shit. I'm like, oh man. But it's like stuff like that. People, you don't realize how, first of all, fun things are, dangerous things are.
I know.
But it's like, you hear all these things. People get killed off so many things working at a jet ski place. People jumping off pontoons, diving into our bay. Oh. There's people that get paralyzed. I saved Randy Orton's life.
No way.
He came and rented pontoons with his family one time, and he went to go dive off the pontoon boat at our dock at Hooper's Crab House.
Oh my God, it's like 2 inches deep.
Yeah, it's knee-deep water there. If you jumped in, your knees are hitting your chest. And it's like, he goes to dive in. I'm like, dude, if you do that, you're going to break your neck. He goes, really? And I'm like, watch. And I jump in the water, knees first, or like knees first, but feet first. And like my knees came up and hit me in the chest. I was like, see that? And he goes, dude, you just saved my life. I was like, yeah, you talk about wrestling being dangerous. Imagine breaking your freaking neck jumping off a pontoon boat.
Right. Oh, and we do it all the time, but we have a spot out in the bay.
You got to find where they dredged it out, because that bay's all used to be marshland. It's all man-made now.
Yeah, well, we have a spot. And like I said, we're at Pines Point Marina. Now, the back of our boat faces Secrets. So if you go straight out before you get to the channel behind Secrets, there's a spot where it's like 9-10 feet deep. And we go back there and we anchor all the time. And we sit there and, like I said, we dive off the boat. It's, it's not a big, well, it's 9 feet deep. I guess it's still dangerous because you can't see what's in there. But, we go back there and swim all the time. Have you ever seen our boat?
Yeah, I've seen your boat multiple times.
Okay.
I've seen the pontoon. I haven't seen your new one that I haven't been on yet.
You have seen it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard that one.
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah.
Thanks for rubbing that in.
No, why? I told you come on out. Let's go.
Let's go fishing.
Let's go.
I haven't been fishing in forever, man. That used to be something that, like, you don't understand the cooling effect of fishing, dude.
Oh, I do.
The hobby of it, like, just sitting there, not, like, having any worries or anything what to do. Oh, my God.
Absolutely. I'm ready anytime you want to go. But we got a trampoline.
Dude, when I graduate from college and stuff, I don't know if I'm going to be working this summer just because, I mean, yeah, it's nice to have money, but I'm just tired of where I'm working at and stuff. But we got to do that. Look at that tubing, man. I remember tubing used to be so fun.
Pull 4 tubes at once with that boat.
You nuts, dude.
It's awesome. Oh, my God. Yeah, we definitely got to do that. I've been trying to get your father to come out on the boat. I actually got him out one time on the pontoon.
He doesn't like the water like that. He's never been in our ocean.
Right. Never.
He doesn't like the ocean down here. He doesn't do any of that. He does not like sharks. That's his biggest fear is sharks.
Oh, me too. I don't stay in it.
I remember Chris, Uncle Chris, and freaking my dad had the biggest conversation, and I'll never forget this. It was like 2 o'clock in the morning sitting by a campfire, like I said, where the good conversation comes from. And he's talking about like what would be the worst fear to die from, and he was arguing that a bear was the worst way because a bear just killed, like there's nothing you can do. That's Chris arguing that, and my dad was arguing a freaking shark because you can't see it, it's underwater. He goes I'd rather have a bear bite me in the head with its teeth and kill me immediately than a shark that drags me underwater and does all this stuff. And he goes, I disagree with you, and they're arguing for a good 10 minutes, and then my dad just stands up and goes, you know what, on your 70th birthday I'll take you out to fucking Yellowstone with a ring of meat around your neck and drag your old wrinkly ass out there to go fight a freaking bear.
I gotta agree because a bear, at least you could damn lay still and play dead, and the bear might leave you alone and walk away. You play dead with a shark, he's still gonna keep coming up and biting you, and not only are you gonna get bit, but then you're gonna drown. Plus, on top of it, and
bears only really get like that when you're near something that they are trying to protect, like when a mama bear is protecting their cubs or something.
It depends. A black bear, you're right. A grizzly bear
bites you to know what you're.
The brown bear, they're aggressive.
A shark just bites you to know what you're like.
Yeah.
It understands. He bites you. Oh, it doesn't taste good. Swims away. Well, my leg's already off, so.
But now that you're bleeding, now more sharks are coming.
There was a dude in the Bahamas that got bit at the waist. It bit him in the dick.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And ripped his whole bottom part of his torso off, and he died on the beach.
Yeah.
That's a terrible way to go.
Watch that movie, The Shallows, or whatever it is.
No.
Have you?
No.
That chick goes out on like surfing or something.
You know what scares me more than sharks?
What's that?
Piranhas.
Yeah, luckily I don't think we have that problem.
Oh, dude, that fish that can swim up your.
Yeah, screw that.
Your pee hole up in Amazon. It's like, why the fuck you want to go up there? Oh, to vision the sights. Yeah, I want to experience the world, but not have a fish latch itself inside of me.
Yeah, that's why I wear condoms when I swim now.
Yeah. Just a full body condom, Naked Gun style.
Uh-oh, there's the boss. We can flip that over.
That's a lot of street cred to ignore that.
Right.
Seemed like it was an important phone call. But, like, dude, I appreciate you taking the time out of your
no problem. I want to do this again.
Hopefully it was super enjoyable for you.
I've had a blast. Oh, my God. I can't wait.
Definitely get you on again down the road, like.
Oh yeah, because
we got so many stories to talk about. Dude, we didn't even scratch the surface on anything. To be
honest with you. We this one like evidently went sideways. We never did the whole. What do you do? What do you know? I never even finished the whole how to meet your father.
It's like the beginning of Wizard of Oz, man.
Yeah, like the first time
we should just create a show instead of How I Met Your Mother, How I Met Your Father.
Yeah, literally the first time I saw your father, I walked up and he was standing outside the Secrets, barefoot, shorts, smoking a cigarette. And I walked up and said, "Man, you gotta love this." He goes, "This is awesome."
Well, I appreciate you being on the podcast, and hopefully I'll be on again soon.